Hello, world. Welcome to
Hello.
another week. Every time you think that this season is going to get really exciting, this group of people finds another way just to ruin it. Um, I'm just so bored. I'm so unbelievably bored with this season. Oh my God.
And now we have to talk about things that happened 3 days ago. I don't want
Yeah,
to think about things that happened that long ago.
we're a little behind. I wrote down my scores. Let's just dive into it. I'm up in the draft, but honestly, like I don't. Ugh. We can add this like. Oh, geez. Anyway,
And do what?
yay. I don't know.
Let's
I'm
just do it. Can we
tired.
just have a quick rankings? These people don't deserve to have an hour long rankings.
Yeah, or we could do the survival role again.
The what?
We could do the survival role again.
Oh, should we do that? Should we start off
No,
our
no, I've got things to do.
why? Why?
I have to go.
It only takes like 2 minutes.
No, let's go.
Ready? Adrian 2. What are you giving him?
Jeez, we're going that fast. Okay, yeah, diving in. Stephen gives Adrian a 2. I will be giving Adrian a 3 again. I consider going up to a 4, actually this week because I think we are seeing this week that Isaiah had the right idea in terms of like trying to bring in Adrian. Um, and I think that Adrian doesn't have a lot of brain in this game in terms of like who he actually should side with. So I think that probably was like a decent thing. However, everybody talks about him as if like, wow, like I'm really gonna leave before Adrian at this point. Like literally, it's the same thing. I just see as zero inequity, which is why I'm like, I really can't go up. So it's gonna be another 3 from me and another 2 from you, and that's that.
Andrew.
Okay, we have to talk about last week, not this week. I am gonna move Andrew back down to a 3. Um, with that said, I actually am like, I feel like in like the last week I was like dogging on him a little bit of like, oh, he's really got no chance and he's on the outs and he doesn't really have a good thing. I do think like I do like the amount that he's been talking to people. Um, and he does actually have some good footing with Jen and Adrian. And I think, I mean, without getting too much into the following week, like is really locked in on like what's gotta happen now. And I really just need these people to lock in. With that said, he's if he doesn't win his own safety, like he's essentially done for moving forward, I think. So he is just biding his time. And granted, we've seen people come up to the end before, so we'll see. But I just think right now, like he is target number one moving out of this week, especially now that Ryan is gone. And that's kind of that.
I agree. I'm gonna go back down to a 3. Um, he is a huge target. Clutch veto win. Probably would have had a good chance of going home otherwise last week. It's gonna be a 3 for me as well. Okay, Isaiah, HOH.
Isaiah the HOH, he did make probably the right move. The move that I think would have been optimal for him in terms of just like at a baseline, who's the person that he needs to take out, I actually think really needed to be Zoe. However, in terms of move that is able to really lock him in with more allies, I think this probably was the right move. He finally, for the first time, after I think thinking that like Rachel and Justin were his like people the whole game, now I think they actually are his people after this HOH. Um, and I think that this Blood on the Clock Tower trio, um, I said in the
Oh,
drafts of like we're gonna hear the word Blood on the Clock Tower a lot. We have not heard it all season, but I think finally this trio is gonna be a dangerous link up. Um, And yeah, any more thoughts that I have to say about Isaiah are going to be coming next week. So I will certainly be raising my score. Um, I'll probably, to be honest, I'm only going up to a 4. I think his win equity is still really low. Um, no, maybe I'll go up to a 5. This HOH was good for him, and now he has locked in allies. I'll go up to a 5. I'll give Isaiah some credit.
I was gonna go to a 5 too. Um, I think a solid HOH. He got out probably his biggest person that was coming after him. Um, Locked in some people. I think he's moving up a little bit in the win equity rankings too. Um, I feel like pretty comfortable with 5. Okay, Jen,
Jen,
Mother
uh,
Jen.
like icon of my life. I I want to see her succeed so badly. This is definitely a dip in that with uh her going up on the block. Um she stayed nearly unanimously, which is crazy because I do think that she is the highest win equity out of anyone. Like if Jen gets to the end after what she's been through, that is just like a that's a sweep. Um I don't see honestly anyone that would not vote for Jen in the end if she were to get there. I think every single person would. Um with that said, I think her competition abilities are starting to showcase for me that like, ooh, okay, this is gonna be tough. In addition, I think as her numbers get picked off, it is like she's gonna have a tougher time, and I don't think anyone is dying to bring in Jen anymore. That seemed to be like a little one-time gimmick with Ryan and Zoe here. So I do think her time is running out. While Andrew is in the game, it's still a bigger threat here, and she is making all the right moves and is pushing for all the right things, and is making good arguments and has good reads. But I can't be in the green anymore for her, so I will be lowering my score. Only to a 5 for this week though.
Um, I'm gonna be at a 5 too. I think Ryan would have been good for her right now, and losing him was not great. But I am rooting for her, and I want her to win. And it's just, it's not going to happen because nothing ever goes the way I want it to. And
Here's the thing, we've had really, I guess maybe 17 is an exception, but we've had really good past track records of like the person that feels like we like want them to win or is doing well and it's like gonna get there. Like I can see the path forward for them. All the people that I want to see win, I'm like, I just don't see how they do it, which is unfortunate. So yeah. Next,
Justin,
Justin, him and Rachel are in similar boats for me, where it's like they deserve to win and they're playing well and I like the things they say, but it's so blah. It's so blasé. I don't think that either of them will win by making the big move of this. Like it just feels like okay, we've positioned ourselves well and that's fine. For Justin, I don't even think he's positioned himself that well. He's kind of had enemies the whole game and has kind of just like picked the allies that are winning the competitions, which is why I'm a little lower on Justin in my opinion. Um, I think Justin this whole season has certainly had a handful of people that like didn't talk to him. And were like, what is Justin doing? And that's kind of that. But he was able to really lock in with Rachel and Isaiah this week, and that's good for him. Um, Ryan went home, which is great for him. So it was good for him. I don't think his win equity is awful, but I don't think it's the highest of the group either. I think he would walk into a jury having pretty split divide. Um, so I will certainly be raising my score. Um, but I'm also only going to go to a 5 for Justin in this week.
I think I'm gonna go up to a 6. I think I feel like I see Justin developing into this like person that not who I want to win the most, but the person who I like I'm just like, yeah, that's probably like what's gonna happen. Um, which is it's not a bad thing. I do like Justin. And I think I'm just like bored for other reasons and not because of anything that he's doing. But I do see him becoming more of like a person that's going to be a presence in the end of this game. And I think he deserves it. And I don't think he has the worst shot to win um, if he makes it there. So I feel like I'm a 6.
What I'll be most curious to see for Justin is how he fares in these end game competitions. Because so far his competition ability has not been stellar. Like I have no reason to think that he's gonna
Mhm.
do well in them. And at the same time, I do think that like I do think other people are picking up on the fact that he's probably the biggest threat on his side. So that's why I'm curious to see him like as we get down to, 5-4-3, where it only takes the competition to send you home, essentially. I'll be curious to see what happens there. But I don't disagree with you. I think Justin is probably like the standard vanilla. You're probably looking like I really see the path forward for Justin, whereas I can't say that for many other people.
Mhm. Rachel.
Um, for me right now, I'm I've been singing Rachel's praises a little bit for the last few weeks, and I still am. I am pretty impressed with her, how she talks to people. I do think that she's still not being clocked as the biggest threat, but still there are now people that are actively talking about her and her side that need to be taken out, the connections that she does have. So I do think we could start to see her threat level increase. In addition, I do feel much more confident in her competition abilities, if I'm being honest, compared to the rest of her side. And it's like I'm not scoring off of this because it hasn't happened and there's no proof that this is exactly what will happen, obviously. But like I do see more worlds where Rachel is able to win some of these endgame competitions, cut the person that she needs to, and put up a good case in the end. I'm certainly not out on Rachel's chances. Um, and yeah, I think she's probably the person on her side that has the best relationships with the other side as well, which I think is something to speak highly of. So for that reason, I will be moving up and I'll be moving one step up again from where I think the rest of her allies are. So I'll be moving up to A6 for Rachel this week. But I don't think I can go higher than that until I reasonably really believe that her win equity has started to go up. And I don't feel like her win equity is worth a 7 right now. So that's why I'm at a 6.
Yeah, I'm also gonna be at a 6 as well. Um, I think for overall similar reasons to Justin. Um, I think her path forward is pretty clear. I think she is just like in this season where the predictable is just like happening. I feel like we're gonna get a very predictable winner. So, and she's who I'm predicting. But I want Jen or Zoe to win.
Same. Oh, same.
When is production? When is the twist that production votes at the next eviction coming in?
Next week.
Ryan.
Ryan, I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. I'm gonna give Ryan a 1. Um, maybe it seems a little harsh, but I do think last week I was in like this tired blasé state, and no shade, Ryan. I think I deserve to go in a little harder on you than I did for the absolute crack house move that you made. And just to be so honest, there's not a chance in hell that he would be sitting here having gone home had he not made the move last week. And I do think, at least for me, watching this week play out, I gained a little more insight as to like what really happened. And honestly, more credit to Jen here. Whereas before it was like, I mean, we kind of said it last time where it was like, where did this move come from? And it kind of seemed like Bryce um was like always an idea, but like we would see if we got to the back door. I really do think it was Jen and his conversation with Jen that really got in his head of like, okay, yeah, we got to do this now. And I, I truly don't attribute it as much to like Ryan just throwing caution to the wind. I do think that he knew it was a risk and was going to really shake things up and was like, you know what, it's been boring. Let's just play the game. Why not? And I think this is best. Um, and it just was not. Um, he there was really no shot for him to stay. Zoe did a really good job at whipping up votes. The only issue is she was whipping up votes that would have included an eventual rep nom. And as soon as that rep nom was Jen, none of those votes are going to be evicting Jen. Good on Isaiah for putting her up because I do think Ryan would have stayed against anyone else. Um,
Could have had
so,
Adrian go.
so oh my God, I was really wishing he would put up Adrian. Alas. But yeah, it's gonna be a one for me for Ryan. Very much enjoyed watching him play, but yeah, definitely a big fall from grace in this game, and that's okay. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's gonna be one for me too. Um, I don't have much more to say. Just I think he did think taking out Price was the best move. I think it was also just like an intentional nuclear bomb. Um, and yeah, there was really no path to stay, especially because he wasn't really putting in the work himself. So okay, yikes.
Yeah, that's got to be
That
one
is
of the bigger spike downs in history.
He still has a 5.277 average, which is pretty good. Krista,
Trista,
actually,
um,
he has the highest average. Oh no, Zoe has the highest average right now.
um, I I continue to be impressed more and more by Trista personally. Um, this week with the potential flip happening to save Ryan. Like I saw Trista more than most, and by most I mean Adrian. Um, being like sticking to her guns, had an opinion on what she wanted because it was best for the game at large, and was really like not gonna let it flip. And I really appreciate that Trista is actually saying these things. And like not to keep talking on Adrian, it really sounds like I'm just like going in. But like Adrian doesn't literally like I was reading Adrian's messages and I was like, Adrian, I have no idea what you're thinking. Because I read your messages and like they literally don't say anything of substance. Um, and I'm just like, my God, you're not gonna win the game if you don't have an opinion at all. And Trista, at the very least, has opinions, knows where her allies and her worth in this game is, and is gonna keep plugging forward with that. We're gonna see how long it takes, how far it takes her. Um, she's someone that I worry that like no, at this point no one's going to be taking out Trista. It is a thing of like as the numbers dwindle, when is a vote going to flip that will send Trista home if that happens. Um, so we'll see. I certainly cannot raise my score. I don't feel like Trista can be in the green for me. Um, but I see the path forward for her. So I'm going to stay at my five. And Ryan going home for her was, I think, like at this point, anyone that's going home that's not Trista is good for Trista. So
I
five.
I'm gonna be at a 5 too. I just don't know how much longer she can keep this up. It's so funny. Um,
How the fact that she's still here.
and you know what? I love that for her.
I'm
But
so happy.
like middle of the road. I'm not upset. I'm definitely upset about more things. So
Um, I mean, easily her and Jen, please, girls, take it home. One of you, for the love of
please,
everything good on this
please.
earth, please save us. Um, I spoke very highly of Zoe last week. I will continue to do so this week in the sense that the fact that she was able to whip up these theoretical votes to save Ryan was rather impressive. As soon as Jen went up on the block, that dream died. And I do wish the thing that I need from Zoe a little more is like Ryan's gone. So I need you to lock in Jen. I need you to lock in Adrian. I need you to lock in like I need you, Zoe, to be the one that locks in these extra numbers for yourself and rallies them against what you're now majorly suspecting as a trio against you. I think Zoe kind of senses it. Zoe needs Isaiah out of here yesterday. Um, and I hope for her that she can do it. Um, we'll see what happens moving forward, but of course this wasn't like a great week for her. So I will be lowering down. I was at an 8. Um, I'm lowering down. I'm gonna go down to a 6, I think. Um, just because I do feel like in this week, Justin and Rachel also really drifted away from her, in terms of like trust and willingness to work together. Um, and I think people see her as a threat. Um, I saw more and more this week, people being like, yeah, Zoe's got to go at some point. And I'm like, no, she doesn't have to. She actually doesn't have to. Um,
Thank
but
God we only have 1 week left.
um, for all those reasons, I'm gonna be at a 6, which is still awarding her gameplay. I don't think she's a likely next boot. Um, and I hope that she will do what I want to see from her, which is lock down people. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be a 6 from me.
I'm gonna be at a 6 also. Um, it was a good effort to rally for Ryan. Ultimately, not great for her that her closest ally went home. But I want to give her a 6. So, okay. My God, I'm just exhausted with this season.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the rankings for this week. Rather quick, because what else is there to say? I'm just like, it's so funny. Like it was during this, I think it was during this week. Maybe it was at the tail beginning of next week. So maybe slight spoilers. I don't even know when this conversation happened. But I was on FaceTime with Isaiah, Rachel, and Justin, and they were making jokes of like, oh, like I bet you guys like hate us trio because we've been like running the whole game. And I'm like, that like the fact that you like that's not even true. Because Isaiah and Rachel, no shade, you have not been running this game. Isaiah has had no power and has been wrong about most things. And Rachel, while I've given her lots of credit and praise, that praise has been due to social positioning and power, not because she's actively made, in my opinion, good moves. I think she has navigated well, which is different than strategically. No shade. Um, and Justin is just kind of like not lucked out. Like I think he knew the layout of the game and who the power players were going to be, and I think he aligned himself rather well with them. Um, and that's not luck by any means. So I'm not trying to discredit Justin at all. Like that is absolutely part of it. But Justin has really not really had to face any kind of like adversity because of that. The only adversity that he faced in this game was when Ryan decided to go rogue, and he wasn't even the target there. So I don't I don't hate that trio because they've been running things because they haven't. But I'm
I hate them because
literally
they haven't been running things.
I hate it because they haven't been running things, and now I think they're gonna just kind of like mosey to the end. And I'm like, okay. Um, at the same time, though, I wish that like my disdain for them as a trio making it to the end came at the expense of like, oh, and I'm really rooting for the other side. But I'm not either. Adrian's boring. Andrew, I don't really want to see win because what has he done besides win vetoes and battle passes? Trista, I want her to win, but like really, like that's where we're at. Which really leaves us with Jen and Zoe. Like Jen and Zoe. Oh, please, for the love of everything good. Um, it's interesting though. I was comparing Jen's run to how far Erin was able to make it after she reset the week, and Erin was able to survive 4 more votes. And so far, Jen has survived 3, and I'm like, oh God, her time is running out. And I see Zoe's clock winding down too. I'm just scared. I really need this double eviction that is coming up next week to result in Isaiah going home.
Zoe and Jen both being here.
Yeah, like I really need to move into this final 6 and have Zoe and Jen both here. God forbid neither of them are here. I'm gonna hit reset and just recast and redo the season. Like that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna type RES3T and we're gonna start over with some new people because I just can't. Oh my God.
Uh, I'm
If
hu-
Zoe survives one, if Zoe makes it through this double, I need her to come out. Like that's what has to happen.
she was really well, we'll talk
We'll
that's
talk
next
about it.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm kind of hungover today. This season just kind of feels like one long hangover. Like,
Honestly, I can't even describe it. Every time it seems like things are gonna pick up, this cast literally somehow seems to decide like, no, we cannot have fun. That's not allowed. We need to be boring. We just need to sit. Everyone sit. I'm like, my God,
okay, I'm
whatever.
done.
Double eviction coming up. We'll be back, probably filming rankings again tonight. And that'll be that.
Okay, bye. Oh my God.